Do you struggle with productivity? Have I got 7 hacks to help you achieve and stay productive at working towards whatever it is you're working on? Hey, I'm Crystal, a life strategist, and my mission is to help you create a life you love. Let's get into it. So when it comes to productivity, I have a few hacks that I know are going to help revolutionize your life and actually give you back time. And we call that #life-giving. Here we go. First and foremost, I'm going to challenge you to turn off all notifications. Yep, I know, it's counterintuitive. Here's the thing, not everybody should have access to 24/7, and we have actually become a society that have been trained just like Pavlov's dog, where we hear this little notification bell or we feel the vibration, and what do? We go right to seeing what it is. And although that's kind of cool, what tends to happen is it distracts us from what it is we're working on. And so if I'm going to ask you while we're working on whatever it is, if you're trying to be productive, simply take your phone and put it in airplane mode, or like I've done with all of my systems, I have 0 notifications on. Therefore, I'm more deliberately intentional when I go into my things, and I'm choosing to go in. So I'm using my energy versus people running after me. Hack number 2, we're going to do a time audit. And so a time audit is essentially looking at the 168 hours we have in our week. And what I'd like you to do is subtract all the work hours you have, or school hours, any sleeping hours, any extracurricular hours. So that could be going to the gym, cleaning your house, so on and so forth. And I want you to really start to narrow it down to see what it is that you're left with. Now, the reason this is super important is because this is going to help you see the discrepancy with your hours. And let's say that you want to work on something really cool. You want to get after a goal or work on a certain dream. Maybe you can look at your time audit and see, actually, instead of, watching 3 hours of TV, right? And I can tell you there was a version of me a little over a decade ago that binged TV nonstop. And what I can tell you today is I recall nothing of what I've watched, and none of it made my life better. Now, does that mean I'm against TV? Absolutely not. I do love myself some binge episodes for watching certain things. However, I audit my time to allow myself the focus to be on my goals and my dreams, my family and my friends, my health, all the things, and then what's left, right? And make some adjustments if you feel you need them. Hack number 3, stop multitasking. Here's the thing, when we multitask, we tend to think that, let's say we're working on 2 activities at once, what we tend to think is that our mind will split the energy 50-50, but that's actually not true. What tends to happen is the mind will be focused on one activity, and then it needs to resituate itself to understand what it is we're doing. And therefore, it's not 50-50. It might look more like 50-40 or 50-30. And you can imagine the more tasks you add on. There was a time where I was the queen of multitasking, and I literally could accomplish nothing. I would literally walk in a room and forget what I was doing there and just busy myself. Now, there's a difference between being busy and being productive. And so if we're looking at being productive, we're going to focus on keeping our tasks focused on the one task at a time, which brings me to hack number 4. We call this chunking. Now, what does chunking look like? It looks like taking similar tasks or similar activities and placing them together. This is a lot different to the multitasking where we're just scattered energy everywhere. Chunking is actually looking at those same activities that resemble each other and putting them together. For example, let's say you have client visits, and then the next day you write reports, and then the next day it's client visits and reports. Instead, what I would invite you to do is put all your client visits together, right? One after the next. This way your mind is focused on this one task, and all your writing tasks can then go on a separate day, because now your mind is focused on these writing tasks. This could be the same thing for any content creators. You want to create all your videos in one go. You want to write all your content in another day. You want to take all your photos in another day. What you're doing is you're looking to chunk the similar activities together to keep your mind focused in the same energy output. Hack number 5. I love this hack. It's called the Pomodoro method. It was invented by a student back in the 1980s. And it is such a fun way to challenge your mind to stay focused and in flow. And how this activity works is, first of all, you can download any free app of a Pomodoro timer, tomato timer, or you can just use your timer on your phone. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna work for 25 minutes. So you're gonna work for 25 minutes, and then you're gonna pause for a 5-minute break at the end of that 25-minute cycle. Now, let's say that you're in the middle of completing something and the buzzer goes off and you're like, but I'm not done. What you're essentially going to do is just wrap it up, right? Let's say you're writing a paragraph, finish the sentence. Then you go into your 5-minute break. I know it seems really counterintuitive, but there is a science behind it. And what it actually does is it gives the mind a break. And most of us are so hard on ourselves that we are not scheduling in breaks. And so this 5-minute break, it's not to check your phone or your social media or your emails. It's essentially for you to just hydrate yourself, stand up and stretch, and then wait for the 5 minutes to complete, to then jump back into the second round. To complete a cycle of Pomodoro, you're going to do this times 4. So 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes, and then this time you can have a longer rest. So let's say 30 minutes of rest. Now, what I love to do with the Pomodoro method is I add on hack number 6 on top, which is I'll listen to pink noise, brown noise, white noise, whatever it is. I love to listen to chill hop vibes. Any kind of sound that I don't know the lyrics to, essentially, and it will distract my mind in a way that it puts it into a flow state. So that as I'm doing the Pomodoro method, my mind is being distracted, but it's still allowing me to get into a flow state, and I get way more done. Hack number 7 is rest. And so let's say we talked a little bit about rest in the Pomodoro method. What I want to talk about rest is in this regards. We are so hard on ourselves, and we tend to forget that we're human beings and not human doings. And so, yes, it's in the doing that we get the results we're looking for. However, it's who you are being in the doing that matters most. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're super stressed, you're exhausted, you haven't had any time for family or friends or for yourself, your own self-care. You're going to feel miserable and stressed and exhausted and depleted. When you're working on that thing, that's the energy you're working on it in, right? And so allowing moments of rest in your day, as well as moments of rest throughout your week, you're going to find yourself a much happier, peaceful, calmer person as you go back into the doing sections of achieving your goals and being productive. So try it out. Let me know how it goes. Share with me which hack you like the most. If this video helped you in any way possible, share it out with others. And if you would like to see more videos like that, don't forget to subscribe below, hit that notification bell so that you know when I drop more videos. Don't forget to be brave, be bold, and be you.